All right, the War of Turkish Liberation. We're into turn 9. We're in the final stretch, the last 3 turns of the game. So once again, the Greeks are trying to press east to capture Ereskesir and Afyan. Getting both is a pretty big victory points, if I remember correctly. I'm not going to actually look up and double check until the end of what the victory conditions are until the game's over. I actually just want to be kind of a surprise for myself as well. So, but I do remember that I don't remember if it's both or just one, or just if you just need one of them. But these are important, so they're important. Smyrna is important, and then I think there might be a few more for them over there, and there's some other ones, especially for the east and Armenia. So if we go over here, so if Armenia is still alive by the end of the game, that's a problem for the Turks. And there's a couple other conditions for some of the eastern stuff, but I don't remember exactly what they are. I think there was something about rebel units, which I think there was something about having rebel units in Armenia or Kurdistan, and with that, I think that probably means that the Free Kurdistan marker, I think the Imperialist player will probably use that on turn 11, the last turn, just to guarantee an extra victory point or two, if I'm remembering that right. Because I don't want to leave time for the rebels to get chased down and destroyed, ideally. I mean, it could still happen if they have enough of the, what's the one I'm looking for? Cavalry left to maybe intercept if the Turks do that, or they could just spend resources to subvert them. So it's not a guarantee, but at least it's a slightly better chance. Anyway, Armenians surrounded. They're trying to just hold out. Azerbaijanis trying to hold out. Been ineffectual attacks that aren't really going anywhere so far. We really need to bring up these support columns to do some damage. So that's what we got going on, and let's get into it. And we've still got these random events, and some of them are pretty beneficial to the Imperial powers at this stage. So let's see what we got. What is the next one? Sovietization of the Caucasus. Oh, okay. I think this is a pretty cool one. Sovietization of the Caucasus might force the surrender of some or all Caucasian republics. If one of the Caucasus republics has already surrendered, roll one 6-sided die. If the die roll is a 1 or less, all other republics surrender. If the die roll is 2, one other republic surrenders. Player may choose at a random method to determine which one. Subtract 1 from the die roll for each republic capital that is already occupied by the Bolsheviks. Any other die roll is no event. Okay, so the Caucasian republics are Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. So those are our 3. So with that in mind, we have a -1 because Georgia's fallen. The capitals are under Bolshevik control. With that, we pretty much need a 3 or less to get a positive result for the revolutionaries. Everything else is a no event. So let's give them a roll. Let's see if they can get really lucky here. If they get a 2 or 1, Armenia and Azerbaijan are just done for. But they instead roll a modified 4, so that is a no event. Unfortunately for the imperialists here, the revolutionaries, the Caucasian Republic stands strong despite the onslaught. And what is this one? Military coup in Greece. Oh boy, this is very bad. Very bad for the imperialists. Well, military coup here it is. The Greek populace loses interest in the Megali idea and the government is toppled. The Greeks receive no replacement points for the remainder of the game. Treated as no event if the Greek forces own Smyrna and any other city in the Ottoman Empire, or if the burden is this. Okay, Edirne is not considered. Well, they own Balkasir and Bursa. So the military coup is canceled. They are very lucky. I didn't remember that part, so they managed to get out of losing all their RP. So had Bursa and Balkasir been maintained, it was just confined to the Greek zone. It's almost guaranteed. The Greeks are basically out of the war at that point, and they're just trying to hold on to Smyrna for victory point purposes. So good on them. They avoided complete disaster. And now we move on to the replacement point phase. And we got 5 points coming in for the Turks. And I think we're going to want to start trying to maybe counterattack some of the Greeks around these parts. So I think we're going to get, where's my thinking? I think I'm going to get one of these powerful 2-step cavalry units in there. So that's going to be 2 points. We've got 3 left. And then I think we need to repair some of these units over here for the assault. That would leave us with 2 left. So I think we'll repair that. And yeah, that'll really help us get prepared for. Yeah, we only have 5 defensive points there versus the 8. I'm really starting to feel like it might be a good idea to shift over to trying to hit Yerevan instead when it comes time, because we can definitely move a good chunk of forces over and try to hit that instead and just kind of maintain a different kind of line. Though it would still be another turn before we can get those in place. So, I don't know. It's a little bit of a, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. But that's going to go over now to the Bolsheviks' turn. They're going to spend their 2 just to reinforce the units that took damage, because we're going to get ready to move in and for another assault on Ganja. This time, though, I think we'll get even more forces to bear. We'll be able to get a little bit better results and get a supply depot in there, so we can potentially do some real damage to Ganja's defenses. Now we'll go on to the Imperialist, Imperialist RP segment. They will build, I think the Azerbaijanis will get another supply depot. And the Armenians have their 2 points. Do they want to repair? I think what they need to try to do is stave off what I was talking about of trying to go for Yerevan. So they're actually going to get 2 regulars. And I think they'll drop 1 here. And I think we'll actually probably here we can just pop them in Armenia. So I think that's a good, that'll kind of make a blocking any movements like that. So it's going to force the Turks to really fight for cars rather than trying to go for the weak Yerevan. That's a good idea. Okay, 4 points for Greece. They're going to get 1 air support. Then they're going to repair 1 of these infantry, because it's not the, oops. We're going to repair 1 of those infantry. And we got 2 points left, so we're going to get another supply convoy and then another 1-step infantry in Smyrna. And that ends the replacement points phase. So we go on to Imperialist movement and combat. Let's see, we'll move this 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I can't quite make it to 4, so we'll just move them here. These guys, I think they'll go up to here. Oh, no, wait. 1, 2, 3. No, we'll go up to Bursa, so they can help reinforce the defense of any counterattacks in the north. And then, man, I feel like maybe I should have actually deployed that guy in Erzurum to help with cars. Oh well. I was thinking about counterattacking Greeks, but it's probably not necessary, honestly. It's just holding the line is good enough. You know, destroying a unit or 2 would be nice for the prestige, but we can just do that with in Armenia. Oh, bad call on that part. I didn't think far enough ahead there. Now let's go on to the, I don't think there's going to be any attacks that are worth, because there's just, I mean, yeah, there's no attacks that would be good. I mean, I guess we could try Afyon, but that's 9. we can get, can't even get 2 to 1. We'd be just shy of 2 to 1. And just that's without even the other factors involved. So we only end up at 1 to 1. With both of those, it'd be a 1 to 3 expending supply. The best we could get is a 1 to 2 if the air support works. So that's a terrible idea. We're definitely not going to attack that. This is going to be really tricky, figuring out how we're going to breach this zone. I don't know if we'll actually be able to be honest. Yeah, this is really bad. No attacks for the Greeks. Moving on to Armenia. Nothing to do. Azerbaijan, nothing to do. Head straight over to the revolutionary movement phase. So the supply convoys and this infantry escort is gonna just move there. I think this force here, are they gonna try to do anything? I don't think so. You know what, actually there is one. I'm gonna do a strategic movement at this guy out of Ankara, because and we're just gonna pop him over to his room just in case with they don't get any weird ideas about moving over those irregulars. So I think what we will do though is have this stack here are going to try to attack this irregular unit in the rough terrain. So it's a cavalry is chasing, no mountain, so it's a +1. So we got it, okay. And that's going to be 5 to 1. Rough terrain brings it down to a 4 to 1. So they're rolling on the 4 to 1. They roll a 3. 3 on the 4 to 1 is a 1-2. So we'll take 1 hit on this guy. And this unit's destroyed. Add that to our prestige thing, and that'll be it. They will not advance into the hex. Just want to kind of keep the irregulars down as much as possible. And that'll be it for that. We'll move on to the Bolsheviks. So I think we'll move these guys. We'll move down to here, next to Ganja, and we'll move 1, 2, and we'll move these guys here. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We can actually do it. Actually, that might be better. 3, 4. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. 3, 4. Yeah. And that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we'll launch another attack on Ganja. So now we have a decent chunk more forces involved. So we got 5, 11, 17, 20, 26 against 2, 3, 6. So that's a 4 to 1 minus a city, so 3 to 1, both expending a supply convoy. So we're rolling on the 3 to 1, and the Bolsheviks do not have an Air Force unit, so it's just going to be 3 to 1. And they roll a 3. 3 on the 3 to 1, so 1, 2. So we take a 1 loss. I think we'll take it off this Bolshevik infantry division. And then we got 2 losses here. Oh, okay. We'll take a hit there. We'll just have to sacrifice one of these infantry brigades. And so that infantry brigade goes to the national prestige pile. So finally, the defenses on Ganja are getting weakened, and that's probably not going to last. They really should have had the Azeris move this brigade into. Actually, is that a brigade? No, I think that's a regiment. Either way, they should have moved them into Ganja before, but now they're not going to be. Yeah, they're not going to really be able to do it, probably. I think they're going to be completely surrounded here next turn. And with that, we move on to the end turn segment. So there's 2 Imperialist units destroyed. So we're going to roll 2 dice. We need 4 ups. We did not get them, so they're the national prestige track of the prestige track for the National Assembly does not change. It is still at medium. It's unfortunate for the revolutionary player, but there you go. Once again, that was a quick turn, so let's just move on straight into turn 10. Winding down here, final phase, random events. Got my hand stuck. Turkish weapon purchases, so that's going to be an extra 2 points for the Turks. That's going to be very useful. French withdraw. The French evacuate Cilicia. Turkish national forces may enter Adana, treated as a no event on one of the following cities: Trebizond, Erzurum, or Afyon. They do not. Or if France is at war with Turkey. They are not. Once the withdrawal conducted, all French units, including the French naval support marker, is withdrawn. Okay. That is very good for the player, the revolutionary player. The French are never going to be involved in the game at all, which means that they're going to be able to move in to occupy Adana now, which I think that's a victory point, so good for them. Or a victory point. I think it's, if Adana was still French, I think it's a victory point for the imperialist player. But since they're going to be gone, make it a lot easier since we're moving to the replacement point phase, and there's an extra 2 points here for the Turkish player. They're going to spend 1 point, but they have 7 to use. They'll spend 1 point to just build. We're just going to get a 1-step infantry over here in Kayseri, so we'll be able to move in to occupy Adana on this turn. Then I think we're going to get the 2-step, so it'll be spending 3 total, so we have 4 left. The 2-step division cavalry over here. Now we got 2 left. I think what we'll do is we got 2 left. We're going to repair a couple of these units. We'll repair that guy, and we'll repair this guy, because we are about to do another assault on cars, and we're going to need all the help we can get. Moving on to the Bolshevik turn. I think the Bolsheviks will spend a point to repair this infantry, and then another point for their air support marker. And now we go to the Imperialists. The Azerbaijanis. Let's see, that'll gain, repairing that gains them 1, repairing that gains them 1. Do they have a way to gain more than that for their defensive value? No. So they don't want to risk just losing more units, so they'll just repair one of these infantry divisions. Prepare for the onslaught, which is probably not going to save them, but they'll try it. Armenia. Once again, they're going to get some partisans, some irregulars, so we'll put 1 there. I think we'll put 1 maybe up there, just to prevent a total surrounding. Yeah, that seems like an alright idea. Next up, we've got the Greeks with 4. Okay, so they're going to repair their units up here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They just want to hold their gains as much as they can at the moment. Try to see if they can find a way to maybe break through. It's going to be really tricky. Yeah, we'll think about it. All right, Imperialist movement and combat phase. So I think if he maybe go 1 or 2. We'll do this. We'll try a southern attack here. Move this guy back. Move that guy up here. Can't really go anywhere else because it's all rough terrain. We're stacked the max. I think we're gonna try a Greek attack here in the south with these 2 stacks. So that's going to be 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 16 against 8. So it's a 2-to-1. Rough terrain, so it goes to 1-to-1. I think both will expend a supply convoy. So it's still 1-to-1. So it's a risky attack. The Greeks will deploy air support. Do the Turks want to deploy air support? No, they will not. So Greeks are deploying air support. Let's see what happens. They get a 6. Okay, so they get a column shift. So they're going to be rolling on the 2-to-1. 2-to-1 attack. Here we go. This is kind of what they wanted to get. Right, let's see what they can do. They got a 6. Okay, this is the kind of thing that they're looking for. So 2-to-1, a 6. It's 0-3. They take no losses. They inflict 3 damage on the Turks. That's exactly what they're looking for. So the Turks will lose this unit and this. So they do not get to advance, but they at least are damaging the Turkish line. This is good. Might be a little too late, but we'll see what happens here. That's the best they can do for now. Nothing the Armenians can really do. I mean, I guess they could kind of just be annoying. Yeah, they could move over here just to be annoying. That's really it. It's not even like annoying enough to do anything. It's just irritating. Nothing else can really do there. Azerbaijan, I mean, I guess we'll try to 2, 3, 4, just to kind of try to make our way, but it's too late now. Should have done it before. And with that, we'll go to the revolutionary phase. So they're gonna move the Turks first, obviously. So we're gonna get this infantry division up here with Ataturk, along with moving these supply columns up here with these 2. And I think what we're going to do is actually this. We're going to move, since this is clear over here, or rough rather, we can get 3 units. So we're going to put another infantry division here. And we're going to move this cavalry division up. Oh no, there's a river. Shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, they can't make that actually, but so that was good. That actually did significantly damage their ability to move. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Well, that's just what we're gonna have to do. Try something like that. Oof. Oh well. That's I think the best we can do there. Over here, okay, and also we're gonna move this guy. Occupy Adana, perfect. This, we're gonna have to shift some forces around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get back over here to bolster this. I don't think there's really anything else we can do. I mean, we got 8, 11, we could do 5, 9. Yeah, most we could do is a 1-to-1. We don't have any supply convoys to help, so that's that'd be bad to try to attack there. So we're gonna have to just have to hold. Turks are gonna have to hold, but it means this southern line's a little vulnerable. We're gonna need to get some units in there as soon as possible. In the meantime, let's try this attack here. This is another attack on cars. Let's see what our total strength here is. 7. That's 12, 15, 18, 21, 23, and then another 4, so 27. against 4, 6, 8. So it's a 3-1. It's in rough and city, so drops it to a 1-1. They're both going to be expending a supply convoy, so it's still 1-1. But then Ataturk makes it a 2-1, and the Turks will deploy their air force, air support. Let's see what happens. 1 is a nothing, so it's just rolling on the 2-1. Let's hope it goes well for him. Nope, it's a 2. So a 2 on the 2-1 is 2 attacker damage and 1 defender damage. So we take 1 hit here on this, and we take 2 damage here. 1, and we'll go 1. All right, well, that's a shame. At least we didn't take any losses. Then we'll move on to the Bolsheviks. So the Bolsheviks are going to complete their encirclement here of Ganja. No supply markers anymore, but oh well. They have the air support at least. And let's work everything heading right in there for Ganja. So 6, 10, 12, 15, 18, 21, 27, 30, 32 against 5. So it's a 6-1. Expending that makes it a 5-1. And the Russians will deploy their air force. So let's get the air support token back. All right, what did I get on that? 2, no effect. So we're just rolling on the 5-1. And we roll a 6. I think that's all she wrote. Yeah, it's 4 damage. There's only 3 total steps, so all of that is fallen. And they will move into Ganja. Can hold 6, right? So we'll put all these guys there. Ganja has fallen. Azerbaijan surrenders. So that unit is now gone, but doesn't count as destroyed in combat. So Azerbaijan is gone. No more replacement point there either. And with that, ends the Bolshevik movement. And we go to the National Assembly. So 1 unit destroyed by the Imperialists. No cities taken anywhere. Well, Ganja fell. Actually, Ganja fell. Actually, that is 1. That was silly of me. Ganja fell. So that's 3 die for the revolutionaries and 1 for the Imperialists. We need 4 ups. So we got 2. So actually, no matter what the even if with they only get 1 die to roll, so even if they got 1 point, the Imperialists still would be down. So that's going to put the national prestige up to high. So very good for the revolutionaries. The Turks are definitely going to have a much better time for their final turn, which is what we're going to get on the last video here. And we'll see how it goes for the final turn of this game. And I'll catch you next time for the climactic finale, or anticlimactic finale. Probably anticlimactic, because I don't think there's going to be able to take Afyon or Eskinsire. But if the Armenians hold out next turn, I think that might be an Imperialist victory. So we'll see how it goes.